Hi, everyone. Remember last week when Matt's mic sounded a little bit off because it decided to punish him for some unknown reason? Well, the story you'll hear in this episode is from the same recording session, so it's not perfect, but this is the last one and the next episode is good to go. It's not that bad, but I just wanted to let you know that we know. Okay? Enjoy the episode.
Podcast Party. Descent into Avernus.
My name is Renascence. My brother gave me that name. Right now, my friends and I are being forced to carry out a mission on behalf of the Flaming Fist. Our job is to locate and clear out a secret temple dedicated to the Dead Three, a triad of evil gods. Our investigation led us to a bathhouse on the border of Heapside. We managed to bluff our way in and clear out the staff by pretending to be rat catchers here to exterminate vermin. And in a way, maybe we are. But don't worry. I'm sure that finding the temple was the hardest part of the job. We've got things well in hand. You can trust me, I'm a paladin. Anyway, Hylan found a secret door in the bathhouse, and I just pushed it open.
When you push on the secret door, it opens with a grind of stone. The intense smell of foul water reaches your nose. Darkness.
What a great evening it's been.
It's dark in there?
You are able to sense, obviously, that there is this intense smell of foul water, but you are also able to see that the area goes just a bit past the secret door and curls around to the left.
Is there a drop, or is it just is it the same plane as us?
From where you can see, it is on the same plane as you.
I'm going to step through first, just in case there's something dangerous right on the other side.
Wait, don't go through. Ilmata, let us see in the darkness. And I use my power, Eyes of Night, and we all have 300 feet of dark vision right now.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay.
Whoa.
Look at this.
Bam.
Corbin, that's brilliant.
How long does that last?
It lasts 1 hour.
Corbin, this is incredible.
This is something else, ain't it?
That's awesome.
Can we get out of this room? It's a little bright.
Yeah, no, right.
Is the door shut behind us? Thaumaturgy, I'll just shut it.
Perfect. As you turn the corner, Hylan, you see that there is, in fact, a staircase heading down.
Given that this is the secret door, I just want to be checking for traps as I proceed.
Okay. Make a ongoing, I'm going to call it for the next 5 minutes or so, investigation check.
I rolled a 22.
Okay. It'll slow down your pace a little bit, but you will know when there's a trap for certain in 5 minutes.
Great.
Hylan, you're in front. You become keenly aware, as you descend the staircase, that there is, in fact, quite a lot of water at the bottom of the staircase. The chamber that you reach is certainly flooded, and this is clearly the source of this foul-smelling water. It seems to be, well, you don't really know how deep it is.
It's going to be tough to be quiet walking through a bunch of water. Everybody be careful.
What? I'm way in the back. I can't hear you. What?
Ren.
Yeah.
Please.
There's a lot of water here. Try to be careful. Try to be quiet.
I'm going to peek around the corner.
Okay. This chamber is clearly hewn from some kind of stone, perhaps limestone. It's not naturally made. It seems to be carved from man-made sources. But yeah, as you step into the water, it comes up probably about mid-thigh. It's about 2 feet deep.
Oof. Wow, you weren't kidding. I'm going to very slowly walk to my right so that I can see down this hall, what appears to be a hallway to the south of me.
There's a room to your south that seems to be sort of adjacent to the room that you're currently in. From where you're standing, it seems to be the same. It's flooded with water. Another thing that you notice when you come into this area is that the rooms are relatively tall, even with the 2 feet of water. The ceilings are about 9 feet high. You also see that this is a space that seems to have been constructed and braced with wooden beams across the ceiling. What that indicates, it only gets.
Might be good time to talk about the dead three.
You want to keep your eye out for a couple of telltale signs. Followers of Baal cut their thumbs. See anybody with a fresh cut on their thumb? It's probably who that is.
Do they wear any sort of particular garments, mask?
Followers of Bane wear black gloves. As far as I know, they don't wear any specific, really obvious symbols. It's more gestures.
I know the symbol of Baal. I've seen it in a book. It's a skull circled in flames.
To be fair, I would think that anyone we encounter down here is probably not a savory sort of person. They're gathered in the underbelly of a bathhouse for a secret meeting. They're probably suspicious at the very least, I would think.
I'm gonna cut my thumb.
Okay. It's not a deep enough cut to cause you any hit points. Yeah.
Great.
I'd just like to take a listen near the threshold of this room to the south.
Make a perception check.
And I will give myself guidance on that as well. Okay, it's terrible. It's a 5.
What you hear is simply just the drip, drip, drip of water seeping out of these limestone walls and causing this flood of water. Gosh, thinking about the sewage. Ew.
I'm going to swing through this threshold to the south, see if I can see anything in this small chamber.
Just dark water that you're sort of wading.
I gesture for Hylan to follow me in.
I follow him.
Sort of curious whether about some of these walls, maybe we should have a poke around.
Yep, I'm looking everywhere I go, so.
Hylan, make a perception check.
10.
Okay. It's hard, but Hylan, yeah, now that you're looking for it a little bit, Renascence may be sort of scanning the areas where there aren't any. You're able to see that just to the south of you, there is yet another secret passageway through this room.
I just motion to Renascence to indicate it, and I ask him to go tell the others to come.
Corbin.
All right, I'm here.
Stick with the group.
All right. Come on, Ofelia.
I follow as well.
Okay, does this seem to be something I would want to try to push open?
Yeah, you could push it. Within your ongoing investigation for the last 5 minutes, you don't see any traps on it.
Great, I will push it slowly.
Okay. It opens to reveal yet even more rooms full of water. You're not quite sure, though, Hylan, but with your now intense dark vision, you're able to see something floating about 30 feet from your position.
Okay, I do see something floating.
Yeah.
Ren,
Yeah.
do any of our friends, can any of them grab something from a distance?
How far away is the object?
From Hylan, 10 feet.
And when you say a thing floating, like how large?
Like body-shaped and body-sized.
Let's not get grabby. I'm gonna pull out my spindle again. I've got a few of these, and I'm just gonna give Divine Sense another whirl.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and say, with your divine sense nothing. No celestial fiends or undead.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that, in a room with some water that a body's floating in, that person didn't fare very well in this room. So, up to you.
I'm sorry, let me just backtrack a bit. Renascence, however, within 60 feet of you, you are able to detect the presence of a clearly desecrated space. And with your new vision, you're able to see, just to the east of you, some kind of strange altar. But it, of course, is past the object that is floating in the room.
Does the water seem to be the same depth here?
Yes, 2 feet, approximately.
I'm not the best at finding and investigating, so I'm hanging back.
I can go take a look. First, I'm gonna just wade over to this body and take a look at it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go with her.
Okay. It is a shirtless male. You walk over to it, you see massive wounds in this individual's back.
Are the wounds what killed him?
Make a medicine check.
That would be a dirty 20.
Not only have you ascertained, Corbin, that the knife wounds are what killed this individual has been dead for 2 days.
Ooh.
Super gross, bloated.
I whisper, is he carrying anything?
Is he wearing or carrying anything?
He has a loincloth and he is shirtless, so...
A sacrifice.
I'm just going to push his body towards the south, away from us. Maybe towards that little alcove in the bottom there.
Sure, it floats down towards a nearby alcove and just sort of floats there and spins in the water.
I'd actually like to go check out. It looks like there's a rubble-filled alcove here on the south side of the room.
Correct, yeah.
I'd just like to search that, see if I find anything lodged in there.
Sure, make an investigation check.
And 11.
Don't find anything. You see that it does seem that maybe this tunnel was at one point an area that might have been caved in or went to a different area, but beyond that, the water hides what you are attempting to find.
Yeah. I head back towards where I sensed the desecrated ground, and I just want to warn everybody that this space up ahead has been defiled. I'll slowly make my way into it.
As you edge toward it, you're able to see that in between 3 wooden beams that go from the floor through the water to the ceiling, a stone altar covered with what you can only assume to be human entrails. And hanging on the wall above the altar is a 3-foot-tall steel mask cast in the form of a frowning human skull.
Do I recognize that symbol?
Make a religion check.
3.
No idea.
Do I know?
What'd you get?
Nope, I got a 7.
Unfortunately not. Corbin, how about you?
21.
Yeah, with a 21, you are absolutely positive of what this steel mask is. It represents the visage of Baal, the god of murder.
It's Baal, the god of murder. Not a nice guy, in case you were curious.
I'd say I'd give that altar a wide berth. Don't get close to it, Hylan.
Do I know anything about the altars of Baal, or are they dangerous, or...
With a 21, you have luckily not been involved in any Baalite rituals. You've not had any face-to-face confrontations with any Baalites as of yet. So you can only determine that this offering isn't something that you necessarily approve of.
I would like to walk over and look at it.
What are you looking for? Trying to pick through the guts?
Yeah, I'll use
Corbin, Corbin, I don't know if you want to do that.
I'm going to do it with maybe take my dagger and... Is it tied down? How is it sacrificed? Maybe say a little prayer over it.
That's the weird thing, is that there's no physical form on this altar. It is just literally a pile of intestines of various types, but they all seem to be indicative of humanoid origin.
It's disgusting what they did here. We gotta find them and stop them.
Couldn't agree more.
We will, Corbin.
And I'll walk away from it.
Okay.
Disgusted.
Renascence, it seems that you're sort of in the lead of the 4 of you, and you're able to spot from your position that there is a point close to the southwest of you where there is a alcove. Back wall of that alcove, there is a 5-foot wide, 7-foot tall tapestry that goes past you and into the water. And as you look at it, you see that it depicts a grisly scene. You see 4 faceless figures ripping apart a 5th figure who is screaming.
I step a bit closer to the tapestry, and I slowly slide a javelin from my pack, and I extend it forward to its full length, and see if I can use the tip of the javelin to move the tapestry to the side.
Okay. The tapestry moves to the side, and as it does so, this very strange sort of cloud of yellow wisps of smoke sort of puff out from behind this tapestry, and I'd like you to make a Constitution saving.
Oops.
Oh, good, a 5.
Okay. You're going to take, unfortunately,
You're fine.
you're going to take 7 poison damage. And you are poisoned for a minute. So yeah, at Renascence, this yellow, poisonous material just hiding behind this tapestry billows out and hits you directly in the face. You guys watch as Renascence just gasps and grabs his throat.
Renascence, why don't you let me go in front?
All right.
I'm going to touch your shoulder, and I'm going to give you a point of healing.
Make another Constitution saving throw, please, Renascence.
This one's a 19.
Okay, you are no longer poisoned. You were about to take, you felt more poison damage, but luckily you're able to stiffen up and shake it off.
Don't touch any tapestries. Tapestries are bad.
Wait, we're afraid of tapestries now? What? I don't understand.
I think just
It was a trap.
this particular tapestry, I believe, was a trap. If we do encounter other tapestries, it's probably okay, Corbin. It's just this place is no need to be afraid of tapestries forever.
So, what you're saying is the trap's behind the tapestry and
Yeah,
not the
but don't
tapestry.
be an idiot like me and just start poking at it with your javelin.
All right, don't be an idiot. Got
I
it.
think what they were trying to say was that it was a trapestry.
Oh.
Okay. Well, it's been
Ouch.
nice knowing you guys.
And that's where we're
We had a
going to
good couple
end.
episodes.
Great. We're going to end for the evening, I think, right there.
Yeah.
At least they didn't say it like, Admiral Akbar. It's a trapestry.
Now, but now you've done that as
There
well.
you go.
That's true.
No, that was pretty good.
Okay. Hylan, you're in the front now as Renascence shakes off this awful damage, and the three of you now, Corbin, Renascence, and Hylan, see that there is a staircase that seems to move upward into a small room. This chamber is no longer flooded, however. You're able to move out of the water and onto solid stone.
Great.
Let's get out of the muck.
Everybody wring out your cloaks so we're not making dripping sounds. Just gonna wring everything out that I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
This room that you just entered has 3 doors. Each of these 3 doors has a depiction carved into it. These doors are clearly soft. You see that there is mold that has eaten into them. But the carvings on them, you see that the door to the north bears a powerfully built skull-headed man carving with long curved blades where his hands should be. On the eastern door, directly across from him, you see a tall, armored man wearing a bucket helm. His right arm, or I should say gauntlet, is painted black, clutches a set of shackles. And on the south door, you see a cloaked figure. His face is hidden under a cowl, and in his skeletal hands, he clutches a screaming human skull.
Well, it seems like these are the 3 death gods, so clearly we're in the right place. Ofelia walks up to the first door that you described, the one with the skull. I'd like to listen at the door.
Okay, make a perception check.
While she's doing that, Renascence will lay hands on himself for 1 hit point.
All right.
Matt, I rolled an 8 in perception.
Don't hear anything.
Okay. Doesn't seem like anything's immediately behind this door. Can I go listen at... I'm going to go clockwise, so I'm at the door with the guy with the sword.
That's the guy with the bucket helm.
Yes.
Corbin figured out what you're doing, and he's going to give you guidance. Ilmata guide you.
That's going to be a 10 total for perception.
Ophelia, you do not hear anything behind this door.
3rd time's a charm.
I'm going to go to the final door.
Okay.
Incidentally, also the scariest description.
I touch her on the forehead, concentrate, and I will give her guidance.
Hope it's not another 8. It is a 5.
For a total of 7.
7, thank you.
Ofelia, you hear nothing at this door.
Doesn't seem like a lot's going on here.
Ren, when did you learn that? Ren learned a new trick, huh?
Yeah, I did like you said. I make the gesture, for the crying god.
It took me 10 years to get that.
Well, I spent a long time as a child being drilled in repetitive ritualistic exercises, like you bow here, you say these words, you pray at such a time, you light candles at such a time, at sunset you do this, at sunrise you do that. So I think I've got a bit of a leg up in learning rituals and things,
I got beaten, so all right, it's fair. Same thing.
I think we should go through the door with the skull on it, right? One for Ball?
I would just like to check the door with the ball door for traps.
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check for me, please.
Okay. I rolled a dirty 20.
Ooh.
No traps.
All right, I just gesture to Ofelia after you.
I open the door.
In front of you is a long stone tunnel with, at the northern end of it, seemingly natural stairway going down.
Okay, I cautiously proceed down the hallway.
Okay.
Watch out for tapestries.
Yeah, you see that these natural stairs go down to the tunnel itself, seemingly now, again, flooded with water.
Architecturally, do I know anything about what would cause these sorts of floods? Is this natural for the bathhouse?
Make a nature check.
This is from the late deathalism movement.
Matt, I rolled an 11 in nature.
Brutalist period.
You can only assume that the water that you have been trudging through, seeping through the limestone walls of these caverns and tunnels, is most likely either from natural sources of water in and around Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate as a city is situated pretty much directly against the Chianthar River. That said, you guys are pretty close to the upper city at this point, so although you hate to admit it, it could very well be that the water is coming through the sewers.
Gross. All right, well, I will cautiously proceed to wade down the stairs into the water.
Okay. You guys all wade essentially right back to the entrance. That was just another tunnel that you guys decided not to go down, and then it brings you directly to the entrance of this place.
Okay. In that case, can we head back to the room with the 3 doors?
Yes, let's go back the way
Absolutely.
we came.
Be careful. See you pushing yourself through the dynamic lighting walls. If you could just use your cursor buttons, that would help you.
Wait, you can use your cursor button?
Absolutely.
Get to move through the...
Ooh,
Oh, I never knew that.
that's fun.
It's like Pac-Man.
Oh, I'm terrible at Pac-Man.
Me too.
Everyone's terrible at Pac-Man. It's an unwinnable mindfuck of a game.
Thank you for saying that. I feel better about my life now. How about Miss Pac-Man? Is that bad too?
Well, I think their job was to take your quarters.
Well, it was, but there were people who could memorize the maps and do it really well. I just couldn't do it.
I used to play Defender, and I could, on a quarter, could play for like 3 hours. Okay, sorry.
Hey, guys.
Yep. Hi, everybody. The show will be back in just a minute for the second half. We're Cast Party, a group of D&D fans who happen to be professional actors, directors, artists, producers, and friends. Cast Party's professional dungeon masters are available to hire for special occasions, parties, corporate team building events, or anytime you need an adventure. Right now, we're running online games only. When we can, we host site-specific live D&D adventure experiences at locations in and around New York City. We also offer free online adventures at least once a month. We're available to run games for adult groups as well as for kids. Check us out at cast-party.com and follow us on Facebook at Cast Party D&D, Twitter at Cast Party 2, and Instagram at Cast_Party. On our website, you can also find original artwork of our characters, and I hear it's pretty good. I'm not biased.
And we're posting maps, pics, and other background material to give you some visuals to go along with the story. Our merch store features all the official cast party apparel and accessories that I spent a really long time designing the logo for. And, hours and hours, you guys. That took a while, but it turned out really well, and you might like it. You might even want to wear it on a shirt. It's that cool, I think. Yeah, I think it's that cool. At cast-party.com, you'll also find a link to check out our original adventures on Dungeon Masters Guild, including the gold medal bestseller Secrets of the Blind Palace by Tal Aviezer. The wealthy Von Crofts hire a party of adventurers to find the body of their dead son in a haunted pleasure palace and bring him back to life. To aid in their quest, the resurrectionists are provided with a guide, the only survivor of the previous expedition, a bard who's been unable to speak a word or sing a note since she escaped from the Blind Palace. Secrets of the Blind Palace was inspired by the poem The Haunted Palace by Edgar Allan Poe, and by the novels Great Expectations by Charles Dickens and The Shining by Stephen King, and by the Evil Dead movies. Everything good should be inspired by the Evil Dead movies. It's a 4 to 7 hour adventure for 3 to 7 characters of level 1 through 4. It's gold, you guys. If you enjoy Podcast Party Descent into Avernus, please subscribe to the show, rate us, leave us a review. We're doing this as a labor of love, and it helps us a lot. We'd love to hear from you. Message us on social media or email us at info@cast-party.com. Thanks very much for listening, and now back to our adventure in Baldur's Gate. I'm going to check the door to my east with the guy with the bucket helm on it, which I am assuming is the Bane door, for traps.
Okay, make an investigation roll, please.
Guidance.
Oh, thanks. I got a 23 without the guidance.
Woohoo.
Yeah, no traps on that one either.
All right, I'll just push it open slowly.
Okay. You see a long tunnel with sets of stairs dotted along the tunnel to your east.
Great. I'm keeping my eyes out also for traps as I walk.
All right. I'll keep your investigation from before.
Thanks.
All right. Guys are clanking down the hallway.
Are we trying to be quiet?
I'm always trying to be quiet.
I'm a bugbear. I'm always trying to be quiet as well.
Of course. Make stealth checks then, please.
I'm sorry, everyone. I got a 7.
Yeah, well, for someone with a +7, I'm really rolling some terrible stealth checks, so I rolled a 10.
18.
I rolled a 10.
Okay. Unfortunately, although you are attempting to walk down these stone steps relatively quietly, the sound of your footfalls echoes into the next chamber with all that water.
You know why? It's because Matt said we were clanking.
I blame myself.
Can I listen to see if I hear anything?
Yeah, sure. Make a perception check.
I rolled a 15.
As you come around the corner, Hylan, and you stop to listen, you hear a female voice saying, "I think they're almost here yet, don't you think?" And a man's voice, seemingly behind some kind of obstruction, so it sounds kind of like, pardon the pun, it sounds like Bane from Batman. "Yes, I think that they're on their way."
Yeah, it's a great voice. Okay. I'm gonna draw people's attention to that just using hand signals. Like, do you hear that? I'm pointing to my ear. Does everybody hear that?
Do we?
I could go ahead and say that you don't need to make a perception check.
Okay. I'm just gonna point to, like, back up.
But if they know we're here, what's the point?
I would rather not be the first one who goes in. Okay.
Fair enough.
So I'm gonna push my way to the back a little bit.
I don't think Hylan's idea is bad. If they hear us loudly walking away, maybe they'll follow
got
us
another
into
door
the
to try.
corridor, and then it'll be easier to fight him.
As you guys all back away, you hear a third voice saying, "Oh gosh, no, please." And then you hear,
Was that a whip?
You're not sure. You just hear a whistle through the air, and then a loud crack, and a whimper of pain.
Oh, no.
Corbin would know a whip sound.
It doesn't sound like a whip.
Okay.
I turn around, uncork a small flask, and sprinkle a tiny amount of holy water on myself, Corbin, and Hylan. Sorry, Ofelia. And I swing around the corner into the room.
Okay.
I'd cast Bless.
I follow.
Okay. As you turn the corner of this room, Renascence, you see that rough-hewn steps rise out of the murky water to the western portion of this room, which is dry and lit by 2 torches in sconces that flank a stone altar. Shackled to the wall behind the altar is a sickly man in a loincloth with a burlap sack over his head. An alcove in the northern wall contains some kind of strange suit of plate armor missing its helm. Standing before the altar are 2 grim figures, a powerfully built woman clutching a mace, and an even bigger man wearing a bucket helm. This helmed man is jabbing the prisoner with a spear, causing him to twitch. Both figures are clad in chainmail, and the woman carries a wooden shield with a leering skull painted on it. And as the 4 of you enter this chamber, they rush at you. Let's roll initiative.
Ooh!
Renascence got a 15 on his initiative.
Oh. Hylan rolled a 9.
Corbin got an 11.
Ofelia got a 21.
All right, Ofelia, let's start with you.
Ofelia moves to the center of the room. I'm just making sure I understand. This is the innocent person, right, Matt? The one in the back?
Kill him.
Who's shot?
Kill him.
Definitely kill the guy who's
Okay.
shackled to the back.
Zodge said collateral damage was acceptable.
Kill the guy. Okay.
He did.
Nuke it from orbit.
Ofelia looks at the woman and she casts vicious mockery and she says, "Why don't you pick on someone your own size? Torturing an innocent, don't you think you can do a little better?" That's going to be a DC 13 wisdom save, Matt.
She got a 10.
So she's going to take 2 points of psychic damage and it's disadvantage on her next attack roll.
Awesome.
Okay, anything else, Ofelia?
That's it.
Renascence, you're up.
I extend my pinky and my index finger and put my thumb to the side, press my middle 2 fingers to the center of my palm. I'm making the devil sign, and I whistle. And she's got to make a DC 13 wisdom save.
She got a 3.
She takes 12 points of necrotic damage.
Yeah.
Bam.
And I slosh through the water and duck into the corner just to the side of the steps that rise up to the platform where they're all gathered. I sort of press up against the wall and I draw my longsword.
All right. Corbin.
Corbin sloshes also through the water, goes to the middle of the room between the pillars, and he looks at the woman who's wounded and says, "Ilmata, burn her." And I cast Sacred Flame on her.
Great.
DC 13 Dex save.
That's a natural 20.
She's perfectly fine.
Yeah, this beam of light issues forth from your hand, and she dodges out of the way.
And that's it.
Okay. The woman who you've been focused firing on gets up quickly from a crouched position as she's just dodged out of the way of your sacred flame, and goes to the nearest person in combat, who is you, Corbin. Runs through the water, and you see that her mace, as she swings it at you, has just a massive fist with spiked knuckles.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Yeah, that's what you say.
That's really cool. Oh, shit. I mean, it's cool, but shit.
Yeah. She rolled an 11.
Oh, she misses.
Okay.
Not even close.
Yeah, it's a good thing you didn't keep looking at the mace. You were just able to dodge under it. All right, that is her turn. Hylan, you're up.
Okay. I need to move so I can see what's going on. So I'm going to stop between Corbin and Ofelia, and I'm going to try to hit her with my short bow.
Okay.
I rolled an 8 without the bliss. Okay, I will be adding a d4. That would be a 9.
Yeah, unfortunately, you stop, and it's just really slippery on the bottom where you stopped, in between Ofelia and Corbin. And as you take the shot, your bracing foot just slips, and the arrow splunch splashes into the water.
Okay, I'm going to back up 1 square. I have that much movement left. Go back to here.
All right. The gentleman with the bucket helm comes down the stairs, clunking the whole way. He has in his hand a massive bladed spear, which he has been using to torture that poor guy on the back wall. So the first thing he will do is he will walk directly in the middle between Renascence and Corbin, and he will attempt to stab at Corbin.
Uh-oh.
That is a 10.
Misses again.
And then out from underneath this bucket helm you hear, Kazira, do your thing! And then the woman with the... And then immediately, as if guided by magic, this woman with the patch over her eye swings at your head again with her flanged mace. That's a 17 with disadvantage.
Oh, that bounces right off my shield.
Awesome.
Nice.
Great job.
Well done, Ofelia.
Indeed.
Woohoo!
Thank you.
Speaking of Ofelia, it's now your turn.
I run up to her and I'm going to pull out my rapier and slash her across the arm. And by slash, I mean pierce, because rapiers do piercing damage.
Rapiers are actually sharp. Just saying.
Actually.
Actually.
That's going to be an 8, so I take it that misses.
Yeah, unfortunately not. You jump into the fray and swing the rapier over your head and then stab it into the area where you thought this individual was, and your rapier meets nothing but air.
I was trying to slash and I should have been piercing. And that's it for Ofelia.
Renascence, you're up.
I leap up onto the steps behind Buckethead, and then without breaking engagement with him, I continue to dance around to the southwest of him so that I'm flanking the lady with Ofelia.
Yeah.
And then I will swing my longsword at her.
Lady.
The lady.
The lady.
We call her a lady.
She doesn't act like a lady.
That is a 15
Unfortunately, a 15 will hit, but you do have bless.
for a total of 19.
And a 19 does hit
Nice.
with your bless. Go ahead and roll damage.
That does 3 points of damage.
All right. You swing, and as she attempts to dodge to the left, you anticipate her movement and get her a good one right in the side. But she doesn't go down.
That ends my turn.
Corbin, you're up.
Corbin is going to, let's see, pull out his short sword and stab at the lady as well.
All right.
And it's an 18, and I have bless.
Right.
I don't know if it matters.
It doesn't matter. An 18 hits, but with that +2, it's certain.
Dirty 20.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely hits. How much damage do you do?
5 piercing.
She screeches in pain and then and falls, and her body sinks under the water.
So when she dies, I'm going to shift 1 square so I can flank Buckethead with Ren. And I'm going to look at Buckethead and I'm going to say, yield before Ilmata or eternal damnation will be upon you.
From underneath Bucket Helm's helm, for lack of a better word, you just hear, Ilmata, she sucks. Wait, Ilmata's is she a boy? I don't know. I don't know gods very well.
Point is your next, Buckethead.
I don't know. I'm going to kill all of you. All of you are going to die.
I can't understand a word he's saying. Can he move closer to the mic, please?
Hylan, you're up.
Okay, enough of this short bow nonsense. I'm going to run over to between Corbin and Ofelia, so I'm right next to Buckethead.
Okay.
And I will attempt to stab him twice with my short sword.
Okay.
Short swords, rather. I rolled an 8, so I'm going to add my bless, which won't do anything.
Okay.
That was a...
1d43? That's amazing. I didn't know there was a 43-sided dice, but hey, works for me.
Wow.
So,
A 1d43 is what Newton rides into hell.
okay, so anyway, that was a whiff, and I try again.
Okay.
And that was a dirty 20.
Ooh.
You have 2-weapon fighting?
I do.
Well, she's got a sword in each hand.
I have a sword in each hand. That's 5 damage, and then I rolled sneak attack for 4 more points, so that's a total of 9 damage.
Superb. Anything else, Hylan?
No, that's it.
All right. The individual in the bucket held, having been hit last, and mightily so by Hylan, will retort with his spear. And that is a 23 to hit.
That definitely hits.
Okay, that's 9 piercing damage, Hylan.
Ooh.
You guys watch as Hylan, who sort of thinks twice about getting out of the way, immediately turns, and the individual you've been calling Buckethead just stabs at Hylan and gets her right in the gut.
You're still the one wearing the stupid hat.
I like my hat. I don't know what. Why are you making fun? I'm going to kill you all.
Ophelia, it's your turn.
Okay. Ophelia picks up her violin. She says, I bet he wears that bucket on his face because it's so ugly underneath that no one can stand to look at him. And I cast Vicious Mockery again.
Oh, that was kind of mean.
Well, he's kind of mean. He's trying to kill us.
He just stabbed me real good.
Matt, again, that's going to be a DC 13 Wisdom save.
That's a 19.
Oh, Buckethead.
So he doesn't take
His-
1 point of psychic damage?
Yeah.
Well, it's still good. He would have gotten disadvantage.
Oh, that's true.
I guess it's a security bucket. It protects him from hurt feelings as well.
It's our time. It's our time down here.
Renascence yells, "Get on every side of him! Get on every side of him!"
Okay. Anything else, Ophelia?
No, that's it for me. I'm on his side of him.
You
so
Yeah, come closer to me. Come closer to me.
Buckethead looks at the 4 of you and is like,
Yeah.
totally bewildered. He's like,
I don't know what you're doing, but it's not going to work. I'm going to let you know right now.
she runs around in front of him so that she's now
You're opposite me.
opposite Hylan.
Left side.
It's well, so here's the thing. Are we going from his perspective or from our perspective?
Is it dungeon right or Buckethead right?
My longsword flashes, and I say, "Over here, sunshine," and I swing at him.
okay.
Oh, crap. 12.
A 12, unfortunately, will not work. He sees your longsword coming in, and he parries it with his spear.
That is it for Renascence.
Corbin, you're up.
Corbin will drop his short sword and he will hold out his palm that is tattooed pure white, and he will smack at Buckethead, and he will cast Inflict Wounds.
Ooh.
What'd you get?
That would be a 21 plus
Nice.
some more. Do I need it for the bless?
A 21 will hit. How much damage do you do?
12 points of necrotic damage.
Excellent. You smack him, and your white hand touches his metallic exterior, and you see him start to shiver. And an actual voice comes through the holes in the helm.
I told you, yield and you will have mercy. And that's my turn.
Hylan, you're up.
I look to see if he shows any signs of yielding.
None.
Okay.
Took a shot.
Yeah. You will torture the innocent no more. And I will attack him again with my short swords. First one's a 24 to hit.
Yes, indeed.
So that's 5 piercing, and then I actually rolled a 6, so that's a total of 11 damage.
All right, very good.
So I'm going to just go with that 11 points, and I'm going to disengage just 30 feet over to the back.
All right. This character, this man with a bucket head, is looking pretty, he's looking staggered. So he turns to the individual behind him on the steps with the beautiful flowing locks and the violin, who's been taunting him mercilessly, and rolls in to spear her through the guts. And rolls an 11.
Awesome.
Does not spear her through the guts.
Misses entirely.
They're rolling like crap.
I'm going to get you.
You call that an attack, she says, and attempts to, with her rapier, attempts to try to target the fleshy part under his armpit, right where his armor has a little gap in it.
Okay.
It's a 10.
Okay, yeah, no, unfortunately, Ophelia, that is not enough. He just immediately swats your rapier out of the air with his gauntleted fist.
I guess we're even.
slashing with my longsword. That is a crit.
All right.
Nice.
Tell me how much damage you do with that crit.
Not as impressive as you might think. It is a total of 8 points of slashing damage.
Okay. Although it is not enough to fell him, a giant swat, and his bucket head comes slightly...
Comes off.
It doesn't come off.
Comes off.
I want to see his face.
I know.
I move my right hand slightly to the side like I'm willing it to come off.
Use the force. No, unfortunately, it comes a little ajar. You're able to see that as you slashed through his bucket helm, there's a massive gash through the metal, and you're able to see that there is, in fact, a human face behind it. And you just hear it going, I came to kill you.
Well, if he wasn't so ugly that he needed the bucket face before, he certainly is now.
Corbin, you're up.
I still can't understand what he's saying, so I'm just gonna hit him with my whip. Crack. And I'm gonna do it again just to see if I do better. That's a 22.
A 22 will absolutely hit. How much damage do you do?
6 slashing.
How do you off Buckethead?
Whipped to death.
Around his neck and just pop his helmet off and crack him. Quick, no pain.
Okay. The whip goes around his neck, and he can't actually get his gauntleted fingers in to wrest it free. And then there is a jerk from Corbin, and you hear crack, and the helmet pops off, and you see underneath the helmet a human face, a man in his middle ages, stubble, again, slashed through the nose, teeth showing through the gash. His eyes have rolled up into their sockets, and just blood everywhere. And then he just falls to his knees, and then face first into the water.
I think he's dead.
Renascence runs up to the prisoner and examines him. He's manacled or tied up here?
Yes, he is indeed manacled to the wall, and there is a sack over his head.
I pull the sack off.
There is a well-manicured beard, very nice teeth, clearly the signs of nobility.
It's all right. Relax. We'll have you out in a minute.
Help me! Help me!
Quiet. Keep it quiet. I look and to see how the manacles are fastened.
They are attached to the wall.
Are they locked on there?
They are locked to his wrists, yes.
Yeah.
The cultists might have the keys. Check the bodies.
Corbin will throw both the bodies up on the stairs out of the water and go through them.
Okay. You heave the bodies onto the stairs from the water. You go through their material belongings, and you do find a key on the body of the female.
Here's the key, and I toss it to Ren.
Did you find anything else, Corbin?
Did I find anything else?
There are multiple keys on this individual's person. You see that there are actually 7 keys.
Are they on a ring?
They are on a ring, yes.
Yeah, so I'll toss the whole ring to Ren.
Do they all look exactly the same, or are they slightly different from one another?
The keys themselves?
Yeah.
Yeah, the keys look different. All of them look different.
Is there any way I could get a general sense of which one we should try because I'm a locksmith?
Sure. Make a investigation check with advantage.
Okay.
Bless is probably just about still active.
16?
Yeah, you're able to sort of look at the keyhole on the manacles and able to determine that it's the right key.
Okay, I just point out that one.
I try to unlock him with that key.
Okay, the shackles become unlocked. Oh, thank God. He rubs his hands. I've been here for so long. I don't know what to do. They've been just stabbing me. And he points to his chest, and there are very sort of shallow puncture marks in his chest and his torso.
It's all right. You're going to be all right. What's your name?
I'm Clem Jasso.
Listen to me, Clem Jasso. You're going to be all right. But we're still down here in the temple, all right? We got to keep quiet, and we'll get you out safely. Can you tell us anything about what they're doing here, what they want? How many of them are there?
They didn't even ask me any questions. They just took me down here and started torturing me. My bodyguard was slain up in the city, I assume. We are in, and he looks around, some kind of awful dungeon.
Does the name Jasso mean anything to me?
Make a history check, Ofelia.
That's a 14.
You don't know of the Jasso family. You're pretty sure that if you thought that this guy had any kind of importance, either within the patriarchs or within the noble houses, that you would have known the Jasso house.
Okay.
I'm just gonna hold his hand and say, Clem, just hold my hand. We're gonna get out of here. You're not far from freedom. Just trust us.
Oh, God. Where are we going?
Were the puncture wounds in any specific order? Do they seem like they have a purpose?
You could make an investigation check.
Ooh, 19.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you look, they seem to just be random. Like, they don't draw a smiley face on them or something like that.
Damn it. And did these two bodies have anything else on them? And I'll grab that spear as well. I'm sure it's just in the
Sure.
water.
Yeah, just their weaponry and their armor.
Nothing fancy or odd about them?
The shield that the woman was wearing has a big red stain on it as you pull it out of the water, and you realize it's because the insignia drawn upon it, the insignia of a skull, was painted in fresh blood.
Does it scrape off if I just clean it?
Yeah, it scrapes off.
All right.
What is this star in it to the north of us in an alcove in this room?
It's a suit of plate armor, but it's missing its helm.
Does it look wearable?
Sure.
I try to see if I can put the plate armor on.
As you reach for the plate armor, the gauntlets detach
Fuck.
and immediately fly through the air and attempt to strangle you. Let's roll initiative.
Shit.
Oh, man.
Renascence got a 13.
Corbin got a 13.
Hylan got a 13.
Ofelia got a 6.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and say Corbin, Renascence, and Hylan, because you're all tied at 13. You guys can decide who goes in the initiative order at what point.
I would like to go second or third.
Okay, there's a gauntlet flying at my face, so I'm going to go
Go
first.
for it.
Okay.
I'll go third.
I take a swing at that gauntlet
All right.
with a 9.
A 9, unfortunately. The magical gauntlet just dodges around your longsword.
That's it for me.
Hylan, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to step right in front of said gauntlet.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to swipe at it with my short swords.
All right.
First one is an 18 to
An
hit.
18 will hit.
Woohoo.
That is 4 piercing damage. And with sneak attack, that adds 1, so 5 points of damage on the first hit.
All right.
Second one. That's an 18.
That will also
to
hit, obviously, yeah.
And that's -3, so that's 6 points of damage on that hit.
Awesome. Anything else, Hylan?
I'm going to stay where I am.
Corbin, you're up.
All right, so there are two of them, right?
There are 2 gauntlets.
One of them's damaged.
Definitely.
All right, so Corbin is just going to step behind Hylan there, and he's going to crack his whip, and he's got 15 feet, so
Yeah.
he can easily reach it. Bam. 18.
Nice.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Awesome.
6 slashing damage.
Okay. Your whip seems to be the weapon of choice tonight. You whip through the air, and the gauntlet flies to pieces.
Woohoo!
Guys, you got to start killing things. I mean, if you're going to fight, this is the way you do it.
I just turn around and stare at him.
Sorry.
No, he's got us. He has been whipping things to death.
Sorry.
He's a fair cop.
He's been whipping them.
It's
Whipping them good.
I can't even do it. Okay, I'm done.
This is my fault, by the way. The armor looked really nice. I got stupid.
Okay. The remaining flying gauntlet will fly through the air and attack Ofelia, since Ophelia's directly in front of it, with a 21.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
4 bludgeoning damage as this thing balls up into a fist and then rockets through the air and smashes you right in the face.
My face!
Right in the moneymaker.
Your hair looks great, though, so you're good.
Yes,
Thank you.
As you watch Ofelia like get hit in the face, her hair just sort of like slow-mo, just like whoosh. Ophelia, you're up.
Ofelia sheds a single beautiful tear, and then rapier up to try to spear this thing while it's right in front of her from below. And that's a dirty 20.
Yeah.
Nice.
A dirty 20 will definitely hit. Absolutely.
Gonna take 6 piercing damage.
Awesome.
Nobody touches my face.
Unless you specifically give consent.
Yes,
There you
exactly.
go.
Which I don't.
I feel like these gloves have more hit points than me. which is upsetting.
Well, they are pretty strong.
That's true.
As
Yeah, they're made of metal, you know.
yeah.
They're really not. You just got to hit them when you attack them.
I stare at him again. I'm just staring.
Actually,
You've got to whip them
I'll
good.
be quiet. Sorry.
Renaissance, you're
I
up.
push the rest of the armor to the side and move up next to the remaining glove and hack at it with my longsword
All right.
for a 14.
Okay, as you push the armor, it falls to the ground with a clatter and literally falls and shatters to pieces. That the only actual
Piece of
real
shit.
armor were these gloves. And unfortunately, a 14 will not hit.
That's it for Renaissance.
Hylan, you're up.
I move through Ofelia, and then I move to the other side of the gauntlet, so I'm flanking.
Yes, indeed.
And I'm going to hit it with my short sword. That's a 21 to hit.
A 20 will definitely hit, absolutely, yeah.
That's 4 piercing and 2 sneak attacks, so that's a total of 6 points of damage.
All right.
And then I will do one more swipe. That's a 14 to hit.
No, unfortunately, a 14 will not hit.
Okay, I'm done.
Corbin, you're up.
Corbin will run down the stairs, slosh through the water behind Hylan, and he will crack his whip over her head
I
and
swear
hit
to
this.
God, Corbin, if you whip at this thing and kill it for the third, like, this will be the third whip kill.
Do it.
Yeah, maybe I think it's fourth actually. Whip
You're
kill.
right.
It is the
That's-
fourth,
Yeah,
yeah.
Corbin, the finisher.
I'm not
Right.
sure if anything has died without being whipped.
I'm just gonna
true.
duck when I see him go behind me. I'm just gonna roll my eyes and duck.
I'm 7 feet tall. Don't worry about it. Oh wait,
An
18.
18 will hit.
4 points of slashing.
Okay. You don't destroy it, but it is very
Aw.
close. You see that most of the metal has completely been sheared off by the whip hit.
I'm leaving a little bit for you guys so you don't feel bad about yourselves. Go.
He seems so nice earlier.
And I'm done.
It's amazing.
I know, it's a real
Alright.
pain in the ass.
This flying,
Friggin' bugbears.
this flying gauntlet will attempt to attack Hylan.
Great.
That is a 15, Hylan.
That hits.
All right, that is 9 bludgeoning damage.
I am unconscious.
Bam! Another hit right to Hyland's face, and Hyland sort of and falls into Corbin and is knocked unconscious.
Shit.
Ofelia, it is your turn.
No one touches Hyland's face without consent either. And Ophelia will stab it again with the rapier. That's a 10.
A 10 will not hit, unfortunately. Your blade is definitely, it's a keen blade, but the remains of this gauntlet are just not doing it.
The tough gauntlet.
Stand where you are, Ophelia.
Yeah.
Renaissance, you're up.
I make the devil sign again with my left hand. And it's got to make a DC 13 wisdom save. And I'm hoping it's a stupid glove.
It's super, super dumb, but it's still got an 11, surprisingly.
Did fail.
All right.
Smarter than the average glove.
3 necrotic.
Okay. The black energy comes out of your fingers, lances across to this glove, and it just explodes.
I lunge across, I crunch the gauntlet under my heel, and I lay on hands Hylan 1 point.
Okay. Hylan, you come back with 1 hit point.
I just look around to see where I have to hit this glove. Where is it?
There are no gloves flying about.
I give Ren a little pat on the back. That's the way you do it. So you kill it. Good job.
Is he still talking about that?
Sadly, yeah. I want to search this sort of altar area where they were torturing this guy.
Okay.
While he's searching, can I start a ritual detect magic?
Sure, absolutely.
So I'll just sit up here by the altar and just start that.
Renaissance, in your quick search around the altar, you don't see anything except this sort of grinning skull with dried blood around its base. You lift the skull, nothing underneath it, and there are no secret compartments in and around this altar.
Right. I think we've got to escort our friend, Mr. Jasso, back up to the street.
Oh, very kind of you.
Mr. Jasso, can you use a weapon at all, or are you just afraid to? She says as politely and respectfully as possible.
Of course, of course. He looks at your weaponry and he looks at, the intense violence that has just occurred. And he's,
No, goodness not. I'm a my family's into textiles by trade. I don't know anything about violence the way that you four have done. Not at all.
Well, that's all right. We'll escort you.
I drag myself slowly up out of the water onto the stairs, and I sit there quietly and do some breathing exercises that Melitiam taught me to consolidate my energy so I don't die.
Corbin or Ofelia, can either of you do anything for Hylan?
Corbin is doing a ritual spell, so he just kind of shakes his head real quick, like, no, like, leave him alone. He's got nothing.
All right. Ofelia casts Cure Wounds on Hylan.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
How much does Hylan get back?
You are healed for 7 hit points.
Bringing you to 8.
Thank you, Ofelia.
You're welcome. I'm glad you're all right. I told it couldn't touch your face.
Don't tell anyone I was basically killed by a glove, okay?
I promise.
Okay. It's a low point. It's a low point for me.
It's not. Listen, it's not anything to be ashamed of. Everyone gets killed by gloves in almost all of my games, so it's fine.
But it has the word love in it.
It does.
Thanks for listening. This episode featured the Dungeon Master stylings of Matt Gordon, with Tal Aviezer as Renascence, Andy Cannistra as Painbearer Corbin Shiv, Rachel Tamarin as Ofelia, and me, Carolyn Fox, as Hylan. I also did the editing. Our original theme music is by Lauren Anker and Anthony DiMasso, 2 of the finest people you're ever going to meet. Some sound effects in this episode are courtesy of Syrinscape. Remember, if you enjoy Podcast Party Descent into Avernus, please subscribe to the show. We'll be back in 2 weeks with the next episode. Thanks very much for listening.
Anything else, guys?
I love you.